Before I start off, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of your work, so this is awesome.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's get started about this documentary that you're releasing. Tell me about High Flight.
Well, I have, having interacted with the military community for quite some time now, I've been able to do some incredible things and visit our troops all around the world where they're deployed or training or whatever. And so I get to see the military in a way that the average American doesn't really. And because I get to visit so many cool and interesting spots where they're working. And from time to time, I get invited to do some pretty cool things. And one of those things was to fly at 70,000 feet on a U-2 Dragon Lady. The U-2 is a spy plane that was developed during the Cold War to actually spy on the Soviet Union. They wanted a plane that would go so high that the Soviet missiles wouldn't be able to reach it. Unfortunately, they found out after a while that the Soviets did have a missile that could reach that high, and so one of the pilots, Gary Powers, was shot down. But this is a plane that goes up so high that it can, avoid most land-based missiles and actually, perform a surveillance mission on the ground. And you get up that high, which is twice as high as an airliner, and you get to see the Earth in a way that, only the shuttle astronauts after that get to see, and I think it's under something like under 1,000 human beings ever going to 70,000.
What is your stomach going through as you're that high up in the air?
It was the U-2 is kind of like a glider. I mean, it goes so high that there's no jet streams up there because nobody's up that high. So it was a very, very smooth ride. It climbed very fast to 70,000 feet. Actually, I think we were at 30,000 feet within, 5 minutes or something like that. So and then, the next leg of the trip goes a little slower, climbing to 70,000.
Okay.
But you experience the Earth in a different way. It's very, very dark above you because you're up so high that you can kind of see the thin blue line, and all the good stuff that kind of keeps us alive down below and sort of on the horizon there, and ice on the cockpit windows. It's super cold.
That's insane.
And I decided that it was going to be such a unique and special experience that I just wanted to have it captured in some way. So I asked a couple of buddies of mine who had made a little documentary with me previously to shoot the experience, and I just kind of financed the whole thing myself. And I just was looking to document it, kind of for my own personal archive, just so my grandkids could see it someday. And we had such a nice footage, and the experience was so good that I just went ahead and put it together as a nice documentary that you can only get on our foundation website, GarySiniseFoundation.org. And the proceeds from the purchase of it will go to support the foundation's programs of supporting and serving and honoring the needs of our military and first responder communities.
That's amazing. So, you've done quite a few amazing things in your life. This has to be probably one of the most exciting things you've done.
Yeah, actually, it was 1 day of training, and
oh, really?
That's a lot of training packed into
for one day. No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, these guys train for a lot longer than that to go up and do, but they wanted me to know what to do in case something goes wrong. That was the scariest part of the experience, was preparing to go on the U-2 because it's all about, well, if the cockpit catches on fire,
all the worst case scenarios you can think of.
You lose pressure, you're in a spacesuit up there because you're so high that, by the end of the day, the training day, I was completely exhausted from, all the stuff that they're cramming into my head and the physical things I had to learn if I had to parachute out of the plane or whatever, all these different things. And you get that on the DVD. You see all the training. You see me going through it firsthand, learning about the YouTube program and learning about the spacesuit and the, if I had to, parachute out at 70,000 feet, what I'd have to do, and all these different things. It's pretty interesting, and you learn about the incredible YouTube program, and you see our men and women in action and how just so good they are. And it's really, I think, an inspiring look at one of the aspects of our incredible military.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Now, how are you going to top this? I mean, what's your next step to top this adventure?
Well, can't go up in the shuttle anymore.
Nope.
I don't know. I've had the opportunity to do some amazing things. And, I've even landed on an aircraft carrier, not in a F-18, but in a plane that carries about 20 people. And I did that and landed on the Ronald Reagan out in the middle of the Persian Gulf at one point, and took off from there. And spent the day out there just visiting the troops on the Reagan and the Persian Gulf. And I've flown in an F-16. I've trained with special forces. I've been on submarines. I've just had an opportunity to see the military at work in a way that most people don't get to experience. And I think one thing that I can do as an entertainer and somebody who does get to visit them in that way is just kind of explain what I see to folks.
Uh-huh.
And that's what this program does. I think a little bit the high flight videos you get to experience right along with me, the men and women serving in the Air Force up at Beale Air Force Base in California.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. Just
terrific. Thank you. Thanks for spreading the word. There's also a nice bonus feature on there. I mentioned that the guys that I had shoot the experience made another little documentary, and that little documentary is about my World War II Uncle Jack, who he was a navigator on a B-17, and I wanted to surprise him with a ride on a B-17. So I asked my friends at the Disabled American Veterans if they knew somebody with a B-17. And so I surprised my Uncle Jack by taking him down to Texas. He thought he was going there for something else. And we walked outside, and there was a B-17 sitting there with the crew all ready to go. And we took him on a ride on a B-17 and got to sort of relive his experience in World War II with him, and we filmed it all, and it's a nice little bonus feature on the High Flight DVD that you get to see Uncle Jack. He did 30 missions over Europe, survived them, but barely sometimes, and this was the first time he'd been on a B-17 since 1945.
Wow.
So it's a pretty sweet little moment, and I want to capture that for him on film.
Oh man, I bet he was smiling the whole time.
He was you could see it on his face. He was just thinking back,
Uh-huh.
And when he used to take off in those things.
Wow, man. It's exciting. But yeah, definitely. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, Gary, thank you so much for doing this. You're awesome.
Thank you so much, and thanks for spreading the word. It's a sweet video, and again, all the proceeds go to support our programs at Gary Sinise Foundation.